What if the thing that could save us is something that we've known from the beginning? It wasn't power, not noise, not domination, but protection, cooperation, recognition. The quiet bridges that still exist between living things. Because while the world teaches us division, life itself keeps teaching connection. Welcome to the Human Frequency TV, where we explore the unseen ties between people, animals, nature, consciousness, and the shared rhythms of life. This is a space for reflection, a space, of course, for truth, a space for remembering that beneath the noise of the world, something deeper still connects us. And sometimes the natural world has been teaching us that all along. Morning arrives quietly across the Middle East. In Tehran, shopkeepers lift the shutters on their storefronts. In Tel Aviv, cafes begin preparing the first coffees of the day. And in Dubai, another working day begins. They all have different languages, different histories, different prayers and politics, and different pain. And yet the morning comes to everyone in the same way, just as birds begin their calls at dawn across the deserts, forests, villages, and coastlines. Life answers the light in many tongues, but with the same instinct to begin again. That's easy to forget, but impossible to deny. Shared human life. Across cultures, people wake up with similar hopes: safety for their families, opportunity for their children, dignity in their work, peace in their hearts. And despite our borders, our flags, our fears, the human experience remains deeply familiar. And we're not alone in that. Elephants move in family units led by memory, protection, and care. And when danger comes, the adults circle the young. Penguins huddle together against the cold. Surviving not by standing apart, but by drawing close. Nature repeats the lessons over and over. Life is often sustained through closeness. The ancient Chinese philosopher Confucius is often rendered as saying, "The noble person seeks harmony, not sameness." And that matters, because unity does not require that we become identical. It asks only that we remember how to live beside one another, without losing our humanity. It's not about sameness, not agreement on everything. Just enough wisdom, not to forget that the other person is a human too. Village solidarity. During the Balkan Wars, some communities refused to divide. Neighbors protected neighbors. Muslim families sheltered with Christian friends. Christian families protected Muslim neighbors. Even in times of conflict, humanity can surface in remarkable ways. Of course, not everywhere, and certainly not always, but enough to remind us that hatred is never the full story. We've always seen the reflections of this in the animal world too. Dogs have remained behind injured companions. Dolphins have been observed supporting wounded members of their pod, helping them to rise and breathe. There are even stories of animals placing themselves between danger and the vulnerable. Protection is not a human virtue. It's one of life's oldest frequencies. There's an ancient teaching from the Sanskrit tradition, often translated as, "Asma is the highest beauty." Forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. But nonviolence, restraint, and protection. Because sometimes the bravest thing a living being can do is refuse to abandon another in the moment of danger. Cooperation beyond borders. Human cooperation extends far beyond local communities. Scientists collaborate across borders every day. Doctors share knowledge that saves lives around the world. Researchers, engineers, aid workers, teachers, people who've never met or may never meet, still help carry one another forward. Civilization itself is a shared project. And again, nature has shown us the pattern. They've shown us the way. Bees work for the life of the whole hive. Ants coordinate with astonishing precision. Geese travel vast distances in formation, each one taking turns against the wind. No single bird carries the sky alone. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." A simple line, but a powerful one, because no one truly thrives alone for long. No individual, not cities, and certainly not nations. We rise together or we unravel together. There really isn't a third option. And I say it quite often myself, a rising tide lifts all boats. And of course there's an opposite to that, which I won't mention because we're talking about uplifting each other. Knowing one another. One of the most beautiful ancient reminders comes from the Quran. We created you into peoples and tribes so that you may know one another. Not so that we may fear one another, not so that we may destroy one another, but so that we may know one another. What a profound instruction. To know, to encounter, to listen, to recognize. And again, even among animals, relationships often begin with recognition. Whales call across great distances. Wolves strengthen bonds through touch and ritual. Primates groom one another not only for hygiene, but for trust, reassurance, and social peace. Connection is not accidental. It's practiced. Imagine how much of the world changes when people stop seeing the differences as a threat and start seeing it as a doorway. Above the earth. Astronauts from different nations live and work together aboard the International Space Station. Well, possibly. Those who know, know. From orbit, political divisions disappear. A single fragile planet fills the view. No border is visible from that height. No ideology is visible. Not a map. Only Earth. And maybe that perspective is not just for astronauts. Maybe it's for us too. Birds in murmuration move as one living pattern. Thousands of separate bodies turning in near-perfect coordination. Sea turtles cross entire oceans guided by forces we're still learning to understand. Life is full of invisible guidance. Full of hidden synchronicity. Full of intelligence beyond noise. It's the same sky. It's the same planet. It's the same ending one day. So perhaps a little more tenderness is overdue. Happiness, healing, and gentle rescue. Not all salvation looks dramatic. Sometimes it's not about being pulled from a fire or shielded from violence. Sometimes it is joy that saves us, softness that saves us, companionship that saves us. A dog can restore calm to an anxious heart. A horse can help a traumatized person feel grounded again. The playful energy of dolphins, otters, or even the purring of a cat can return a human being, if not only for a moment, to safety inside themselves. This matters too, because healing is not only survival, it's also the recovery of lightness, the return of trust, the reappearance of joy. Sometimes, what saves us is simply being reminded that tenderness still exists. Reflective turn. The quiet bridges between us are rarely built by governments alone. They are built in kitchens, in phone calls, in acts of restraint, in small mercies, in conversations that do not become arguments, in the decisions to remain human when the world is giving you every excuse not to. They are built every time care overrides fear, every time protection overrides indifference, every time gentleness proves stronger than cruelty. The natural world keeps showing us this. Guard the young, protect the wounded, move together when the storms come, mourn what is lost, return to play when safety returns. This is how the frequency changes, not only through speeches, but through conduct, through presence, through the courage to carry peace without becoming passive, and truth without becoming cruel. If this story resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the Human Frequency TV. If you've witnessed a moment where humanity, or even the natural world, surprised you, share it in the comments. And if you have a story, reflection, or experience that you'd like to contribute, email lifeofvicarious@gmail.com. Because in a divided world, remembering our shared humanity is not weakness. And remembering that we are part of a wider living world and a greater organism is not sentimentality. It's wisdom. Until next time, protect your peace, guard your frequency, and stay connected to what is deepest, kindest, and the most alive in you. Human Frequency TV.